I think we're live.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. How are you? Cool. Well, welcome y'all to this virtual write-in. This theme for this week is That's My Best Friend Character Dynamics, because we thought of switching it up. And it's good to see y'all. Please comment your name in the chats. I see a bunch of folks already talking to each other about camp, their vaccine, what's going on, catch up. And we're already in the last week of camp.
I know. How did that happen?
It went by really quickly.
It did.
And there's probably some folks. Did you get far? Did you hit your goal, Catherine?
I did not. I have not hit my goal. There's still time. There's still a couple of days, but I might have to change my goal and lower it a little bit because I definitely have not reached what I initially set out to do this month.
And that's okay. Goals are meant to be flexible. I
Have you completed your work count yet?
I did not hit my word count. Honestly, I don't like following rules. I don't. But I got a lot out of it.
What'd you say?
I got a lot out of it. I got what I needed.
Excellent.
But for y'all in the chat, don't forget to update your word count. If you're catching up or if you passed, let us know if you hit your goal or if you're changing it up a bit.
Yeah. Oh, awesome. The Shadows Lair 1 camp already. Yay. Woo.
Ooh.
Oh, and Misty Kate, happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday. Enjoy your day.
Oh, I have a special birthday friend for you. Blobby has made a reappearance. I'm finally back at my house, and so Blobby has returned from his vacation. He's going to be our virtual write-in buddy for today. So
special privilege for the birthday person.
Oh, by the way, I guess we should introduce ourselves as well. I mean, Blobby's obviously the most important one here, but I'm Catherine. I'm the communications manager at NaNoWriMo.
And I'm Nautica. I'm the editorial intern at NaNoWriMo. And we've been doing these virtual write-ins for like all of July.
Yeah.
So if y'all like what we're doing, you think we're doing a decent job, y'all should subscribe, like show up for us, and come enjoy what we're about to do. The sprints, we have a new prompt for y'all. Should we get into it?
Yeah, since it's the last week of camp, let's do some writing to get our word counts in.
Okay, so since y'all know, we're gonna do a 5-minute sprint, right? And we're gonna post in the chat the words in the theme. And so you can either use them or don't use them, get inspired by them, whatever. We're gonna use the words or theme of love, sibling, rival, chosen, and play. So do what y'all need to just write for the next 5 minutes.
Okay, want me to set a timer?
Yes, please.
Okay. All right, let's get going. 5 minutes to write starts now. Got about 2 minutes left. All right, time is up. Go ahead and wrap up what you're writing. If you want to share a sentence that you wrote or how many words you got during that sprint, or anything else that came up for you, maybe how you use the prompt words, feel free to share that in the chat. Also, sorry, somebody said bird, and apparently the crows in my backyard decided to join in. So
You're writing with us.
It's a spooky ambiance if anybody's writing a spooky story.
How was yours?
Pretty good. I was really like stuck on a particular part of my novel, and then I did a writing sprint like yesterday, and like actually like just got 2 sentences down, but actually started it. So I'm doing a little bit better today now that I've actually like started on that section. So how about you?
Good. I wish it was just for once I'm not writing about something I usually write about. I was like, ooh, something new came up. I don't know how many words, but I can see in the chat a lot of folks hit some words. Like Sydney got 262.
Nice.
Big G 99 got 504. I'm jealous.
That's awesome. Alex said joining late, but excited to catch this right in. That's great. We just finished the first sprint, so you're good.
And a lot of folks are reaching some words, even if it's 100, that's okay. I also write by hand, empty graves. Nice. So sometimes it takes a little bit longer.
I used to, my very first novel that I wrote the entire thing by hand. Ended up being like 200 something pages, and then I was like, okay, I'm never doing this again.
I think there's like some science that like when you write on paper, your brain flashes like differently than if you're like typing it, since you're like doing it.
Mm-hmm. I still start, like whenever I start a new idea, I always start off handwriting it because it just, yeah, I think you're right. It's like a different way that your brain works.
Yeah, let us know in the chat if y'all type it or if y'all write it. Lindsay put in the chat, I love the pairing of love and sibling because my fave relationships are platonic and they're so underutilized.
Yes.
Platonic love. We need that a little bit more showing up in our writing and into our stories.
Very true. looks like we got some other handwriters who are joining. So
Yeah, join the chat. If only you can handwrite in the chat. Should we ask the discussion topic?
yeah.
So, asking for y'all in the chat, how do you write your characters' relationships? Like, I guess what's your process on it?
It's a good question. I don't know. I feel like I feel like the relationship as a whole is usually something that develops a little bit in like further drafts, but usually at first I have ideas of like little moments that I have between characters, and it's like, oh, I know that they like had this conversation about which bands they like in the lunchroom or whatever. So it's like I use those moments, I think, as little like anchor points to try and figure out what their larger relationship looks like. But it is kind of a process to like actually for me to figure out kind of what it looks like.
I think I do something similar, like think of the moments. I'm like, this would be really cute. Okay, so how do we develop our characters so it makes sense that they have this cute moment and how does it serve
Hmm.
um, the purpose? Jessica put, I write some scenes of just dialogue with them talking to each other as an exercise, and I see what pieces of their personalities come out with each other. That's really smart.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, dialogue is so important. I'm so bad at writing dialogue. It's so important.
I mean, you just practice listening to others or
That's
eavesdropping.
true.
I think that's an exercise, just eavesdrop on someone on the bus,
Uh-huh.
write down what they say.
That's great.
It's
Um,
easy, but
there's my favorite bookstore over in San Francisco. It's called Borderlands. It's like a sci-fi and fantasy bookstore. They send out a newsletter every month, but there's always a section of like overheard in the bookstore, and it's just like the funniest, weirdest things of like people looking at sci-fi books that are taken out of context. So
yeah, that's a good way to develop your dialogue and your characters. Saya put, I'm a pantster, so I just try to write out one scene that nails down their basic dynamic. That's some freestyle. I feel it.
yeah. Linda says, a lot of my characters are close with their siblings, but sometimes they just have a meh relationship with them. I'm not the best at romance, though my Nano 2020 was a romance story. Yeah,
Ooh,
that's a great point that there are so many different kinds of relationships that characters can have. Um, yeah.
I mean, one, I like a challenge with, especially if you're not used to writing romance, but also, I don't know, I think it's cute to like, there's like so much like love put in, but we don't like talk about like love just for friends and family and how important that is.
Hmm. It's true. I have trouble writing sibling relationships actually, because I'm an only child. So every time I write a relationship between siblings, I'm like, am I getting this right? I have no idea.
I, yeah, I guess that's a little hard. I'm a twin, so
What? I didn't know that.
we're identical, we don't look alike. And I love sibling relationships, but it's a little bit different since we're like the same age.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool.
And I don't know how y'all feel about writing like siblings, if y'all have some, if you like imagine a better relationship with your siblings. Because you know, that plays into it. Alex 81209 says, yes, I love getting inspiration from random strangers. My notes app is overflowing with dialogue clips.
It's awesome.
I get a
I
lot of,
wonder if anybody's ever had a conversation and then has seen it like pop up in a book later. It's like, wait a second.
honestly, I tell people at that point.
Yeah, right.
Wonky says, youngest of three, writing siblings is a piece of cake. Ooh.
Uh,
Could you write as an older sibling though?
oh, that's a good question.
I could not. Um, should we start moving on to the second sprint? Do you think it's about time?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's all this talk of character dynamics and like people writing siblings and relationships makes me want to dive into it. So let's do it.
Yeah, hopefully this like gets your brain moving a little bit. Think about your siblings and your best friends, your little platonic relationships. And for this next sprint, we're gonna write a scene about your character bonding with their best friend or sibling, or what's their dynamic? How are they expressing themselves, and what do they want to do together?
Great.
So tell us all about it.
Yeah, this one's 10 minutes long.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Yep. And just a reminder, folks don't have to use the prompt if it doesn't work for you, but it's there as like a jumping off point if you need it. So, all right. So 10 minutes, and let's start writing now. halfway done with this one. About a minute left. Okay. Time's up. go ahead and wrap up what you're writing. Again, if you want to put in the chat either how many words you got during that sprint or how you used the prompt or share a sentence that you wrote, feel free to do that. That one went pretty well for me. How about you?
It went well. I got a little sidetracked by talking about the scenery.
Happens.
Yeah, but from the beginning and towards when you told us like, oh, maybe like 2 minutes left, I'm like, okay, well, I can work it in. I can work it.
Yeah, I was kind of doing some like flashbacks because I'm right at the scene where there's a big betrayal. So I'm like, okay, here's what it was like before. But
Yeah, I was thinking of something similar where I had like the main one I'm working on is like two siblings that have just got back into each other's lives, but now like because of ideology differences, they're like kind of splitting.
oh,
And how
interesting.
do they like overcome it? And it's that.
Cool. That's awesome. I love that there was a conversation going on in the chat while we were doing that about how good do you think a prince would actually be at sword fighting?
I saw that a little bit. Y'all got some good questions.
Uh-huh.
There's let's see, we got some. Abigail got 421 words.
Blue Moon got 555.
Flex. Elizabeth got 171. Yes, I hope I have that much.
Pixelkind said, I had Adrian, who does not know that magic is real, watch Attica just deck some other guy who's throwing fireballs around.
I would love to surprise someone like that. Got Alex 1209. Got 114. Cool. I hope this seems like it's working for y'all.
Yeah. Marcia McDaniel's got 206 and said, I did the whole thing in dialogue and went back and filled in side action of the participants.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
Well,
oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
Oh no, I was just gonna say I've done some like exercises before where it's like you have to write a scene entirely in the dark or something, so it's just with dialogue. That's kind of what that reminded me of.
I saw someone in the chat use dialogue, but I can't find it anymore. Hopefully y'all got some practice with dialogue. I know that one's a bit hard.
Yeah.
Well, this is a question also to add on for y'all is what I think, and I also think some people were talking about it. What is your favorite character dynamics?
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a great question. No, I have to think about that for a second.
I think I've recently like really loved like mother and daughters.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's not like enough emphasis on like the love.
Yeah.
And like just overcoming obstacles and be like, yeah, this is my mom, go her. This is my daughter.
That's great. Yeah, I'm trying to think. I don't know. I mean, I'm always a sucker for like the enemies to lovers or enemies to friends trope of just like people who are like sort of clashing wits and like having very witty repartee. But
Oh, those ones are always cute. Owl House, if anyone has seen it in the chat. I feel like some folks have seen it. What is it? I saw Blue Moon excerpt. Family is family, correct? But family isn't always blood related, and people how are blood related aren't always family.
mm-hmm.
This reminds me of like Chosen Family also.
Yes, I do love me a good chosen family trope. It's one of my favorites.
And Wonky has the we're forced to work together, but I hate you because you killed me, and we're exes, and I'm a ghost. That's very specific.
But I would absolutely read that.
Ash Y says writing couples are always fun.
Mm-hmm. Oh, Cool and Jelly says, I always have to read over the dialogue aloud in my script just to make sure it sounds organic and move things along. That's a great tip because yeah, sometimes you read things aloud and you're like, oh man, I would never actually say this.
Yeah. Or have someone else say it.
Mm-hmm.
Does it feel natural when they hear it? When they
Yeah.
say it? Ava says found family. Love that dynamic. Sasha says, I love friendships and chosen family relationships.
Mm-hmm. Ashwise says, love also writing misunderstandings between characters. I I I I try, but I'm always like, oh no, you can solve this so easily by communicating.
I don't know. I feel like that there has to be like a lot of planning
Yeah.
into, like, I respect it so much. I really do. I don't know how people can miscommunicate that much. And not, like, conflict management, just talk it out.
Oh, Kitty Gaspari says, I like the dynamic of two strangers. That's fun.
Yeah, those are always interesting. I feel because we always, at one point, we're all strangers.
Right.
So the introduction.
Mm-hmm.
Marisa, I'm writing Illumini fan fiction right now. Good luck. I'm happy some folks are like responding with some cartoons in the chat.
Oh yeah, I saw some people mentioning She-Ra in Owl House.
Cool and Jelly. Another aspect of dialogue that is tricky for me is not just what the characters say, but what goes unsaid between them.
Yeah, that's a really, really good point.
Like, especially on like how we choose to respond. Like if the character just doesn't respond or ignores.
Mm-hmm.
Those are definitely kind of tricky.
Yeah, like they could be saying something and their body language is like saying something totally different.
Mm-hmm. I've been looking more into like unspoken body language to see if it would help, right? Like how do we like show lying?
Oh, interesting. Yeah. And it's kind of fun. I feel like it's especially like an interesting thing to think about in sort of the wake of the past year when so much has been virtual and it's like taking those body language cues has been harder to do on a screen.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know how people do it. Ali put, I find introducing characters so hard because I know them, but the readers slash characters don't. Yeah.
Yeah.
Isn't that the thing where you got to really like make the first impression? What's the most in character thing they can do at that very moment?
Oh, that's a great way to look at that. I love that.
Because what is it? Like if they're selfish, like what's the most selfish thing they can
Mm-hmm.
introduction or the most chaotic thing?
Oh, that's really I love that idea.
Great. So should we go on to the final sprint?
Yeah, let's do it. Since this is our last one in July,
Mm-hmm.
so let's get those words out.
Cool. How long are you thinking?
Let's see. We could do a 15-minute sprint if people want, or like a slightly longer one, like 12 minutes, 15 minutes, something like that. I don't know. What do you think, Nautica?
I think 15, because like just get that
Uh,
final push. It's like
Yeah.
it's summer. We're about to be like let go from camp.
Yeah. All right, let's do it. 15.
Okay. So this sprint, right? Y'all can choose to follow the prompts or y'all don't have to. But if you need some inspiration, it's gonna be your characters get into a conflict with their friends or family. Can it be fixed? If not, what or how do your characters respond?
All right, so 15 minutes on the clock. It looks like people are so down to do 15 minutes. So yeah, let's do this.
Yes.
All right, 15 minutes. Let's start writing now. About halfway done. 2 minutes left. Okay, time is up. Go ahead and wrap up what you're writing. Again, if you want to put in the chat either how you use the prompt or the word count that you got during that sprint. Also, if you want to share the word count that you got for this virtual write-in for the whole thing, that's sometimes fun to look at. So yeah, let us know.
It always feels relaxing at the ends of these prompts because I'm like, ooh, it feels like running.
Yeah,
Mentally running.
definitely. I mean, that's basically what it is. Yeah, I know. It's good. I feel like I accomplished something today. So yay.
Yeah, I'm still projecting each time I make these like prompts. I'm projecting on what I need to do. And I'm like, cool, I got it. I touched the surface. I got a little deeper. I have a starting point.
Oh, perfect. I mean, these have been super helpful for me. So I appreciate you you putting down the things that you want to work on. Excuse me.
And then I hope this works with y'all. I see a lot of folks posting in the chat their words. Cyber Wolf Rice got 324.
Nice. Angelique Lee got 569.
So Vera got 434. Y'all are doing good.
Saya got 393 words for this prompt and 791 total.
A lot. Pre-Numbra got, my daughters just informed me they invited many friends over after the friends showed up. So spent the sprint making pizza for teenagers.
That also sounds like it could be the scene of a novel, though.
That's the prompt. It was just.
I know. It's perfect.
Oh, this is good. Hopefully this like helped y'all with your like characters.
Yeah. I like this excerpt that Michelle shared. It said, Bio shouted, "You can't make me go!" The red light surged, giving the impression of being covered in lava. No matter, Bio and Pool could be surrounded in lava anyway by how hot-tempered they were.
Ooh. I can see some conflicts against two hot-tempered people, but also a situation.
Yeah.
Oh man. Blue Moon got 1,290 words in total. Oh, and Ali got $1,550
Wow.
like basically. Wow.
God, you guys are amazing.
Yeah, no, I got some, but I have serial killer handwriting. That's what my teacher told me. And so I don't know how many words, and I can't read it after a day. Pixel kind couldn't really work with the prompt, so I just kept writing the scene from last time. That's good.
Anise Alina got 271 and said, didn't write the conflict, but I was prompted to write the moment just before the conflict. So thank you.
I feel like these prompts, I don't know, they usually help me, or something about like, I don't, it kind of, this is like the closest to being in a community or like in a classroom or in a like a group setting.
Mm-hmm.
That really helps like just push just to write whatever, even if it's 100 words.
Totally. I mean, yeah, like a lot of times sometimes I'll be working on a scene and I'm like, the prompt doesn't really fit here, but just the fact that other people are writing and I'm like, oh, I should probably also be doing that in this time that's specifically set aside for writing is really helpful. So
The time it works, and then sometimes when people talk to me, I like writing when I'm supposed to be listening. Like I should be productive. I'm supposed to do something.
yeah, it's okay. It's probably more important anyway.
Yeah, probably. MLG said use the prompt to write a new scene in my novel. Excerpt. Carlo, looking very much like it was not okay, opens the door just slightly more, glowering as Furlow walked past him. Oh, I hope I said that right.
Yeah.
Nice.
Crazy Foxy says, don't forget SCBWI starts on Friday. So excited. That sounds exciting. I'm not sure what that is, but thank you for letting us know.
Yeah, let us know in the chat.
I think it's a conference. I know SCBWI is like a writing organization. So that sounds cool.
Oh, let me know then. Let's see. I found something. Oh, Rebecca says, I get the most writing done when I'm supposed to be doing other things.
Yeah, that is kind of how it goes.
Sometimes I feel like I'm misbehaving when I do it.
Oh.
Look, all for the novel, y'all.
Yeah, it's the sacrifices we make for our art.
And Linda, ooh, congrats on 40,000 words.
Yay. Bobby was here the whole time. He was just sitting over on my couch. So figured I'd bring him back for the end. He's cheering you on.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any announcements you want to put out for the last minute that were?
I can't think of any off the top of my head. So yeah, this is the last week at camp. So do make sure if you haven't already to update your word count. And if you win, go and look at your winner goodies page. If you reach your word count, you'll get a little notification. And so go look at your winner goodies page. And there are like certificates that you can print out and like flair that you can put on social media to let people know that you won camp. And there's also a link to some sponsor goodies. We have sponsor offers for everybody who participates, but there are extra ones for people who meet their goal. So extra incentive to go do that.
And just a reminder also, if you're like me and never reach any goals, it's okay if you made some progress also. I usually be like, oh, I want to write 50,000 words, and sometimes we just get busy.
Mm-hmm. It
But
happens.
yeah, just coming into these virtual write-ins and just taking the time to write, that's important. That's progress and growth.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. And then otherwise, so this is the last currently scheduled virtual write-in. But I think we're gonna do one next week as well. Same time, same place, just because we like doing these so much, and you guys are great. And if anybody, even if you reached your goal, sometimes you're like, oh, I actually still have more to do. So we're gonna do another virtual write-in next week. And then we'll probably take a little bit of a break from doing virtual write-ins while we get ready for NaNoWriMo in November, because that's suddenly like around the corner. So Anyway, I'll put it up on YouTube soon, but we will see you guys next week. And that'll be the last virtual write-in for a little bit, I think. So
Thanks y'all for coming.
yeah, thanks everybody. Good luck with camp and congratulations on everything that you wrote today. And